Welcome back to the Culture of Currency. This is your Wall Street Journal weekly market report. As you can tell by my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather right now, but you deserve to know what's going on with your metals. So here I am early in the morning to take care of that for you. Could not sleep, so I've been up since 3 and waiting on the paper to drop in the front yard, and now we're here. So, as always, I want to remind you that this video is sponsored by APMEX, the American Precious Metals Exchange. The QR code you see on the screen will send you right there if you are looking to buy some awesome precious metals. That could be copper, palladium, platinum, gold, silver, you name it. They have the best selection and the coolest diversity of products that I've ever seen. So it's a place that I like to check out. Here's a clipping from earlier this week that you're probably well aware of. Gold prices hit new high and overseas stocks rise. Yeah, very crazy time for metals. We saw silver as well on a tear. We will get to all of that. This right here is also an issue to be front of mind. Labor market. Those numbers apparently have some wiggle room as far as their accuracy, according to a handful of experts. So we're going to try to get our hands on that. But basically, the labor market's report was not great, did not add a whole lot of jobs according to the report. And so therefore, the market's kind of at a standstill for that point, which tells me it's kind of a sleeping bear at this point. It's just waiting for the moment to wake up and rise because everything else is pointing towards good things. So let's go ahead, move all this stuff off, and get to the exchange, where we can take a look at what the markets did this week in comparison to everything else. And here we go. Front page, pretty cool article here about billionaires of the world. I'm not sure if it interests any of you, but one point that I thought was really cool. We talk about the Department of Education in America and giving free education to everyone. What I did not know is this right here, the billionaire donations to education right here being in the close to $60 billion range since 2015, which makes me wonder a lot about what the Department of Education was doing, because that seems to outpace a lot of the federal dollars. And so when we think about the efficacy and the effect rate and sample size in education, I wonder which one of these buckets is doing better for the amount of dollars spent. Is it the Department of Education or is it billionaire donations? Very interesting, a bit of reporting there. And now we are here at our market report, where I have done my best to create some squiggly lines so that you know exactly where we're at. Dow Jones is always where we like to start. As you see here, 45,400. It's down a little bit right there, 220 points, or roughly 0.5%. Keep that number in mind because it will be relevant later. So we're really not far, as you can see, from an all-time high, as we also track here. It almost looks like an EKG as we run up the map here. S&P, kind of the same thing. We got the 6481 down just 20 points, very close to an all-time high, as you can see represented. It would probably have been there if not for Friday and that jobs report. We have the NASDAQ here, 21.7, and then we have down 731, very close to an all-time high as well. Once again, as you can see. And as noted, if Friday didn't happen, that trading day, it looks like we would have been about equal to our all-time high. Really cool stuff there. Internationally, some things to bring to you. Right here we have Brazil. And if you notice with Brazil, they have shot up. We know that they kind of fell back a few weeks ago. So it looks like they're riding the ship a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in on this for you. There we go. We then here have Mexico. Mexico, once again, trading partner here, 0.89% growth in their stock sector right there. Big trading partner. We go then to the Eurozone, Denmark. Not so great in Denmark, lost a full percentage point. Germany, down almost 0.75%. We have Italy over here at 0.91 down. Don't know what's going on in Europe. South Africa booming 1% above. Sweden almost at 1%, 0.84. And we have Turkey falling 0.92%. We go to the Asia Pacific. China and Hong Kong both in the positive with about 1.5%. So things going well over there. And we saw in that gold article that those are related. We have Japan also on the positive side, 1.03. We have Taiwan, who got hit last week, coming right back, 1.30. And we have Thailand at almost a full percentage point. So good things happening in the market, which is always a benefit. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at silver spot price. And this is where I said pay attention to the Dow and the S&P because we're going to see some weird things going on. Silver spot, as you see on this chart, 41.27. That is up $1.37, roughly 3.43%, which is fantastic. We knew that this day was coming, right? A lot of people said it's going to go to the moon. We'll see about the moon, but at least we're getting to orbit, right? And when we look at the U.S. dollar is kind of flat right here. It looks like it's about 10% up. But we did see on our market here that the Dow and the S&P and all that were slightly down. But take a look at this chart here. Obviously, we know Monday it was closed for Labor Day. But it has the S&P at 1% and the Dow Jones at 0.23, which is not reflected in the Wall Street Journal. And so I think this chart needs to be updated. Silver, I did check. It is where it needs to be. But the S&P and the Dow Jones are incorrect now that we have compared them against the reporting of the Wall Street Journal. So whoever's in charge of that over here, get on that so that we have the best facts. But let's get to the big winner. Look at gold, 4%, up $139. How fantastic is that? Against the U.S. dollar, it's a king. We're sitting at 4%. That is absolutely nuts. Against the defunct Dow Jones and S&P numbers that should be in the negative and aren't, we are at basically a toppling. This gold run has been absolutely crazy. I know at Longhorn, where I get my silver, they're selling a lot of historic gold coins basically at melt value. So if you're in the area, come on down and get you some. That is what we have for you today. I need to get on some vocal rest so that I can be better and maybe, who knows, take a nap because I've been up for entirely too long. But that is what we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, please remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.